Hey there and welcome to Scandal Steep. It can be frustrating and embarrassing when a deeply private moment accidentally gets broadcast to the world, especially when you're someone who values their privacy. This is exactly what happened to Shannon Sharpe, the NFL legend and now a popular TV analyst, when an unexpected slip on Instagram Live turned a private moment into a very public one. Shannon Sharpe, known for his charisma and strong opinions on sports shows, suddenly found himself at the center of a social media storm. What started as an innocent slip-up on Instagram Live quickly escalated into widespread attention, leaving Sharpe feeling humiliated, as he revealed on his podcast. The incident became a major talking point, especially since it involved someone with such a public persona who clearly values his personal privacy. Sharpe's honest admission of what had happened and his subsequent handling of the situation have sparked both sympathy and curiosity among fans and commentators alike. The moment in question began when Sharpe accidentally went live on Instagram, a platform he admitted to not fully understanding. As a result, a very personal moment was broadcast, with his phone lighting up with calls and notifications from strangers, alerting him to the fact that something had gone wrong. The confusion and shock were immediate, and Sharpe explained that it wasn't until people started calling him and his daughter stepped in that he realized what had happened. By then, however, the damage had already been done, and the private conversation he was having was heard by a much larger audience than intended. Following the incident, there was an initial attempt to explain what had happened, with a post appearing on Sharpe's Instagram story suggesting his account had been hacked. But, as time went on, Sharpe decided to take full responsibility for the situation. He made it clear that there had been no hack or prank involved, he had simply made a mistake. He was candid about the fact that he had never used Instagram Live before and wasn't familiar with how it worked, which is why he didn't realize he had gone live in the first place. What made the situation even more uncomfortable for Sharpe was the fact that he's a very private person. He mentioned in his podcast that he was embarrassed because a personal, intimate moment was shared with the world, something he had never intended. Sharpe explained that, although what happened wasn't anything out of the ordinary, the fact that it became public was what made the situation so difficult for him. His fans, his family, and his colleagues all expect a certain level of professionalism from him, whether on TV or behind the scenes, and he felt like he had let them down by allowing such a personal moment to be exposed. Sharpe's reaction to the incident was one of disappointment in himself. He expressed how upset he was, not just because of what happened but because it had gone public. He emphasized how hard he works to maintain a level of professionalism in everything he does, whether it's on TV or in his personal life, and he felt like this incident compromised that. Despite his embarrassment, though, Sharpe owned up to his mistake immediately, telling his representative and ESPN that it was him, not a hacker, who had gone live. He admitted that it was an innocent mistake and that he had no intention of going live or sharing anything with the public. One of the more amusing aspects of the fallout from the incident came from the internet's reaction. As soon as word got out, social media exploded with people trying to figure out who Sharpe had been with during the live broadcast, and rumors began to fly. Comedians like Cat Williams even joked about the situation, adding to the lighthearted teasing Sharpe received from friends and fans alike. However, Sharpe remained focused on moving forward, acknowledging that he made a mistake but not allowing it to define him. Throughout the ordeal, Sharpe continued to handle the situation with the same honesty and directness that has made him such a respected figure in the sports world. He explained that what made the situation most challenging for him was the fact that he's not good with technology. While he understands that the mistake was unintentional, it didn't make it any easier to deal with the embarrassment that followed. He admitted that his family, especially his daughters, were affected by the situation, and he expressed regret that they had to deal with the fallout of his actions. However, despite the jokes and the rumors, Sharpe remained grounded. He joked on his podcast about switching back to a flip phone so that something like this wouldn't happen again. He understood the consequences of his actions, but he also realized that life goes on and mistakes happen. Sharpe made it clear that he's human, and sometimes even the most professional people make mistakes. He took full responsibility for what happened and assured his fans and family that he would learn from the experience. What really stood out about Sharpe's response to the incident was the way he chose to face it head-on. Rather than hide behind excuses or try to downplay what had happened, he was upfront about his mistake and took responsibility for it. He didn't try to shift the blame or deny what had happened. Instead, he owned it and moved forward. This level of honesty earned him respect from many of his fans and colleagues, who appreciated his willingness to be open about the situation. Of course, the internet being the internet, the jokes and memes came fast. Some of the reactions were playful, with people poking fun at Sharpe for saying "That's my Michelle" during the live broadcast. Others speculated about whether the incident might affect his career on ESPN or his podcasts. However, most people seemed to agree that Sharpe's strong reputation and brand would help him bounce back from the incident without any major consequences. After all, he's built a career on being straightforward and unapologetically himself, and this moment was no different. Interestingly, the incident even led to some unexpected offers for Sharpe. TMZ Sports reported that a popular adult website reached out to Sharpe with a lucrative offer, offering him $100,000 to appear on their platform. The site joked that they wanted to see him score in a different way, but it's highly unlikely that Sharpe would take them up on the offer. As one of the biggest TV analysts in sports and the host of a successful podcast, Sharpe hardly needs the extra cash, and he's already made it clear that he's embarrassed by the incident and just wants to move on from it. Ultimately, the whole situation serves as a reminder that even public figures like Shannon Sharpe are human. Mistakes happen, and while this one may have been embarrassing, Sharpe's response to it has been admirable. He's taken responsibility, faced the jokes with good humor, and made it clear that he's ready to move on. Whether this incident will continue to be a talking point in the future remains to be seen, but for now, it seems like Sharpe has handled it as well as anyone could have hoped. In the end, what's most important is that Sharpe has learned from the experience and is ready to put it behind him. He's acknowledged his mistake, taken ownership of it, and moved forward with the same professionalism and integrity that have made him such a beloved figure in the sports world. While the incident may have been an awkward moment for him, it's clear that Sharpe is more than capable of bouncing back and continuing to thrive in his career. Shannon Sharpe's mishap serves as a cautionary tale about the unpredictability of technology, even for those who aren't as tech-savvy. His transparency in addressing the situation head-on without deflecting blame or making excuses has only reinforced the admiration his fans and peers have for him. While the social media frenzy was inevitable, Sharpe's ability to maintain his composure and handle the aftermath with humility has been commendable. As a public figure, every move Sharpe makes is scrutinized, but he's shown that it's possible to come out of an embarrassing situation with grace. His readiness to acknowledge his mistake and learn from it demonstrates his maturity. It also serves as a reminder that even those in the limelight have moments they'd rather keep private. Yet, how one handles those moments is what ultimately defines their character. Despite the jokes and memes, Sharpe remains grounded, proving that owning up to one's actions is always the best way forward.